Hello, the
Hi.
YouTubes. It's us. We're back with more Opum for you during these dark days of the void period. Um,
Well,
Hello, it's your boys John and Patrick from Obscure Reference. We're back again. This time we're going to be diving into our favorite underrated panels of all time. This started initially as a top 10, but as we were collecting them, we realized there's so many good underrated panels. So this will be the hopefully first installment in a bit of a series. So yeah, today we've just got 10 of our favorite panels, some of which are probably pretty hype, some of which are a little more niche, and some of which you might not even remember happened, but these are our favorites. Patrick, you want to add anything to the introduction?
yeah, so my thought process, I don't know how it was for you, John, in picking these panels, was to just pick something that, because like we all know like the iconic imagery of One Piece, like, the
Mm-hmm.
first time Luffy goes Gears second or, Nami saying help me. We're not going for that sort of vibe here
I definitely
today.
went for some of those vibes here today.
Uh-oh. Well, I went for some of the stuff that we might often overlook. And some might kind of veer kind of towards the more hype stuff too. So you're not alone in that, honestly. But um, for the most part, we try to go. I went for some. Mine are mostly gags. Some of them are, a little underrated. We kind of forget about them as we get further away from it. But that just kind of speaks to
Yeah.
the thought process
Now, I'm
behind
going
the
to
panels
full
that we pick.
disclaimer now. Once I figured out that I can't narrow it down to just 10 panels, I started taking all my favorite panels, and some pretty monumental moments did end up making it in here just because the panels are that good. But I
Hmm.
assure you, there's still plenty of underrated panels in here. That being said, these are not in any specific order, aside from I did put my number one at number one.
Mm, I might
But
have too.
yeah, but no specific order. These are just 10 of each of our favorite panels. Let's jump into numero uno.
Yeah, and
There.
also to clarify, we did remove text boxes. We're trying to avoid copyright.
Okay,
So there you
Patrick, tell me what's going on here.
All right. So this one is from chapter 228. This is like right of the beginning of Jaya. We've just met Cricket, and he's collapsed, and we're talking inside his hut, and he mentions the story of Nolan the Liar, and Luffy, he says they're talking about the Sky Island, and he says no one ever found it except for one, but everyone called him a liar. And Luffy just turns and looks at Usopp, and he's like, "It's not me." And I love this panel. What? Because we know that Usopp's a liar, obviously, but just the face that Luffy's making, that he hears the word liar and just instantly turns to Usopp and makes that face,
He truly is
uh,
just a being of
always kills me.
instinct.
Just kills me every time. It's so funny.
It
It's one of my
really is.
favorite bits.
That's a
So I'm not
banger of a
sure.
start.
I want to say it happens more than once, but I couldn't find the second time it happens, so I just went with this one. I love it. So anyway, that's my number 10 pick. I love Jaya. There's a lot of good comedic bits, but this one is always one of my favorites.
So, coming in at my number 10, a little bit less comedic here. This is my Lord and
Mm,
Savior Whoop Slap sitting right at the end of the East Blue Saga.
hmm
And they're talking about like, woo, Luffy's gonna go out and chase his dream, and Whoop Slap's sitting here like, is it his dream or is it destiny?
hmm
And it's always left this lingering taste in my mind, like how much does Whoop Slap know? And I'm not saying he knows the Void Century or anything like that, but does he know anything about D, or maybe that Luffy, because of his bloodline, is destined for greatness? Like, what is there to this guy? Or is it just a throwaway
What is
line? Maybe it's like, yeah, maybe he just believes in destiny and that's all there is to it.
it's
But I don't
just a
know.
cool thing to
I see
say.
this and I like to believe that Whoop Slap is playing that long game.
Yeah, it's a solid panel. I really like, and Oda uses white space pretty well with all that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just a good panel, the way
Yeah,
it's framed.
it's like for a character as irrelevant as Whoop Slap, I just love that we have this dedicated panel, and it really it
Hmm
is like even if he was saying anything else, he looks cool in this image.
hmm Yep,
Anyway,
I
that's my
agree.
number 10. Moving on, we got Patrick's number 9.
All right.
Ooh, good one.
So this one's a little more serious. This one, I remember reading it when this chapter first came out, and my jaw was literally on the floor. I think I was
Yep.
riding my car, and my parents were driving us somewhere, and I just turned the page, and oh shit. Um, he did that with a short little seppuku blade, and he did all of that. But what I love about it is, and for reference, this is chapter 909, I believe. Yes, it is. This is the beginning. I think this is like the first or second chapter of Wano, like
It's really
very
early,
beginning.
for sure.
Um, and this is the first time we've seen Zoro in a couple of years because we've been on Whole Cake for so long. And this is our first time seeing him back, and he hasn't lost a step, obviously, because it's only been like a couple of days in story time. But um, I really like this moment because he's supposed to stay undercover, and the next couple of panels you hear him apologizing to Kinemon because he didn't. But I
Hmm.
really like focusing on this panel. I just really like how you can follow the action. Like obviously the focal point is Zoro, but then you can move up and you see just where he slashed. Like you see the guy that was telling him to kill himself, but then you look up at the building and it's just like kind of not even just cut. It's kind of like curving a little bit. Like the force of the slash just pushes it even more so. And I just really love how this image is laid out, just how badass it is for Zoro.
It really is one hell of a reintroduction for him.
Hmm.
That being said, this panel has inspired one of my choices for next time already. I know exactly the moment I'm
Ooh.
slapping on there. But
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
absolute badass moment for Zoro. Great opening to Wano. Fantastic choice for your number 9. But chugging right on along, my number 9. Here we got impelled down when Buggy and Mr. 3 stumble upon Bon Clay. And I just this double take. He's like, "Oh, hello there." Like every fucking time. Impel Down has no business being as funny as it is, but it is a
Mhm.
hilarious arc. Just gags left and right. I'm sure you have at least one Impel Down moment on here.
Oh, I have a bunch on my list. I don't know how many made the cut. I
Yeah,
forget. We'll get to it.
this is just it is peak comedy. Just you get Buggy and Bon Clay on the same screen, you're guaranteed to have a good time and have the straight
Hmm.
man and Mr. 3 to play off of. Oh
Hmm.
my god! The stupid duck face. I cannot get over it. Bon Clay, my
Yep.
favorite character. He's just so expressive.
Yeah, and I love proceeding up to this that he's what leading his inmates in like an exercise too.
The amount of times I'm
And
just like walking through work and I'm going deux, trois. I
yeah.
sing it to myself because Bon Clay is amazing.
Yep. It's a great reintroduction to the character. I think we get a tease of him at the end of the chapter before this, and then Buggy and Mr. Three run into him, and it's just great because, like, he has history with Mr. Three, but not necessarily Buggy.
It did
I think
such a good job. It's my favorite arc. It really is.
doesn't Buggy have a comment around here like, "Well, who's this freak?
Yeah,
Who's
no,
this freak Swan or
it's
something?"
I think what is this animal or what is this
Oh, that's what it
monstrosity?
is. That's what it is. Yep, yep. I love it. It's great.
Creature. He calls him a creature.
Okay, okay,
But
makes
yeah,
sense.
no, absolutely love this one. But we're gonna go ahead. We chug right on along. Patrick's number 8. Here it is. This is the one I was waiting. Oh no, this isn't it.
This isn't what you're thinking of.
No, this
I
isn't
don't
what
think.
I'm thinking. It's very similar though.
Nope, it's probably my second favorite buggy panel of all time. This is Marineford. I want to get the chapter right. It's 561. It's when Luffy's fighting Mihawk and he pulls him down, does gum human shield,
Mm-hmm.
and then Buggy's like, "Why would you do that, Straw Hat? Oh shit, it's Mihawk. Here, take this Muggy Ball." And then Mihawk just like bounces it back with his sword. And this is right before it explodes right in Buggy's face. He's just like, "Hmm? Uh-oh."
Those freaking eyes.
That's my favorite part about it because it's like you have a warlord and someone who will be a warlord 2 years later, and he's just like, he doesn't stand a chance, and he throws a bomb that was threatening as hell to us, like chapter 20, and it's just turned on him so quickly, and he's just like, oh shit, and he has that face.
Buggy again has no right being as big a part of Marineford as he is, but
Hmm.
he, oh my god, every second he's on screen is just comedic gold.
Yeah, there was another contender for a spot in this on my list this time that I left out
Is
because I
it
have
the one I'm
another.
thinking of?
It might be.
No, I
It
didn't want
might
you to
be.
leave that out. Anyway, stay
No, no,
tuned
no,
for
no.
next time.
No, you're thinking of because I'm thinking Marineford, not
Oh, it's a
necessarily.
Marineford moment. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
one
yeah.
in here that's Marineford. That might be it.
Yeah. There's only a couple of funny buggy moments for me
Okay.
in Marineford, but anyway.
So moving on, my number 7. It's Jerry. I
Fucking
love
Jerry.
Jerry. It's just who's Jerry? That's his Jerry.
Yeah,
CP6
he's
is like intelligence agent from Karate Island or whatever. He
yeah.
just I don't know, just the panel on the left there with the spiky edges just says Jerry with like three exclamation points. And everyone's just like, save us, Jerry. And I don't know, I love Jerry so much. Then the fact that he goes on to just blatantly cheat at karate.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Jerry does not have a strong impact on my memory. Before you said his name, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. I don't know his name.
No, that's the best part. Like, he shows up, he gets this introduction where everyone's like, save us, Jerry. Gets defeated
Hmm.
immediately, never referenced again. Like, he for some
Yeah,
reason got this introduction and went on to do literally nothing.
I do really like this introduction, the way that this image is framed, where Sanji's just like fits perfectly in between his legs, and he's just like bent over because he can't fit. I
I
do like
just
that. It's a really
full.
good
I really
introduction.
I love Jerry. The Sea Train, full of gags to help break the tension. Jerry is among my favorite of the gags.
Jerry, yeah, that is a solid ass pick. I do like that a lot.
Moving on, Patrick's number 7 coming at you.
Yeah, so it's Crocus. It's Crocus.
Okay, Kirkus is
So
yeah.
let me set the scene. You probably know, but this is they're trying to get information out of this old man on a beach. They think they've been swallowed by a whale, and they have no idea where they are. And they see this old man just staring at them menacingly. And Zoro's just been chastised for not introducing himself first, um, before asking Crocus his name. And right as he's about to introduce himself, Crocus cuts him off and says, "My name is Crocus. I'm the keeper of the Twin Capes Lighthouse. I'm 71, a Gemini, and my blood type is AB." Zoro's just like, "I'm gonna fucking kill him." Everyone's like, "Calm down." And it's just like, for someone who just is acting all intimidating like that, and then he's like, "It's rude to not introduce yourself first." And then he cuts him off and gives him every possible detail he can.
No,
It's such a great bit.
Crocus is underrated hilarity. Like, yeah, he's not die laughing, but
Oh
it's
man.
just he's undersold. How do I say it? Like, you get these moments. You get the moment where he keeps like pausing for dramatic tension and then resuming his
Hmm.
sentences, and they're like, "Stop doing that."
Yeah.
The fact that
Yeah.
he's just living in a whale.
It's just so absurd, and he's just man, it's the
And they play
absurd's the
him
right
so
word.
straight. And then
Yeah.
Crocus is just great. All of his gags are just great. I love
Hmm.
Crocus.
Yeah. The anime definitely plays up his like dramatic like "Duh, duh," before he says anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit less of that in the manga, so I do think the anime does a little bit better in some cases, but I just love this moment, period. It's great.
All right, and moving right on to my number 7.
Oh, all
Again,
right.
much more like famous of a moment. Not going to pretend this one's actually underrated, but here, we get the classic Blackbeard "Dreams Never Die," and I've just, especially over the past few weeks, really come to love Luffy and Blackbeard. Because obviously, it's no secret that they're like direct opposites of each other, but at the same time, the same thing. And I don't know, I just really it's just such a sublime moment. It's them against the world. Gonna feed into the theorists here. Is it weird that there's 3 Straw Hats right there and there's possibly 3 guys inside Blackbeard? Is it
Mm.
weird that if you were to subtract just one of the exclamation marks on the screen, there'd be 3 of them?
All right. All right.
No, I love Jaya, I love Blackbeard, and I love that this scene shows he obviously has faith in his dream and other people's dreams. And then we almost immediately go on to find out he is willing to destroy other people's dreams for his own. And that's just
Hmm.
it's a really great dichotomy between them. And I think this panel sums it up better than anything.
Yeah, no, I this was on my short list. Or it's not on my short list. I did have it in my list as a potential, but I ultimately didn't. I adore this moment in general because you have this stranger who has the exact opposite taste of Luffy. We don't know who he is. He's just this old guy eating pie, and he's just sitting out in the middle of a town where people get openly mocked for following their dreams and believing in Sky Islands. And this isn't long after Luffy and Zoro got beat up in the bar, and they're leaving to go talk to like visit Cricket and stuff. And we just get this, and it's like such a beautiful moment, like you for everything you've said. Um, and then later, learning later that was Blackbeard, we're actually not supposed to like him, but it's so hard to not like him in this
Mm-hmm.
moment.
So
So
charismatic.
yeah, just great speech. I love the whited out background. It's just the characters and those sound effects. It's just perfect. I'll say it. I'll say it.
This really is. This is peak One Piece, but chugging
Hmm.
right on along to your number six.
Got another double page spread.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, this
This
one
one,
hurts.
this one caught me off guard on on my last reread. Because I've read Syrup Island a million times, and it's not my favorite arc. I don't think it's anyone's favorite arc, really. But um, it has this moment that kind of comes out of left field where it broke me the last time I read, and I couldn't help getting a little teary eyed.
Mm-hmm.
This is chapter 40. It's like the second to last chapter of Syrup Island. And yeah, it's Usopp disbanding the Usopp Pirates. And what what can I say? It's just it's perfect. You get the wide shot of them in the middle, and you have the carrot onion and I'm gonna call him
Pepper.
turd pepper. Well, he's turnip
Turret?
now. Turnip. I said turnip.
You said turret.
Nope. So it's carrot, and turnip, and they're all crying on one side of the page, and then you just have Usopp crying on the other side of the page, and it's beautiful. I love this moment.
It really is a great moment. I was always such a big fan of these three kids, not because, they're particularly amazing, but I don't know, I
Hmm.
just get a kick out of their antics.
Hmm.
There's a real part of me holding out hope that after the time skip, they're 2 years older, maybe they train to be pirates without Usopp around, and they're going to show up and become pirate apprentices just like the Pirate King had.
Mm.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see these guys just pop up in the new world.
Hmm.
It's not going to happen, though. I've got no
No,
actual hope for it.
probably not.
But you know who
Yeah.
might? It's Johnny and Yosuke.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, it really is just such a beautiful scene they've set up here. I
Hmm.
love that Usopp's, trying to lie and putting on this big brave smile, but, just everybody's gushing tears.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
that's how this scene starts, I believe. He's acting all hard, like he's not actually
Mm-hmm.
sad or anything, and then they all end up breaking by the end. He's like, no, real pirates don't cry, and they all end up crying.
No.
It's a great moment.
Big fan of this part of the series. Again, not Syrup Village, but the actual disbanding of the Usopp Pirates. It's just
Hmm.
so wholesome.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Good moment.
Moving on, my number six
Oh.
is for anyone who doesn't recognize this panel. Frankie has just explained to Luffy that this is Tom's brother, and This is my master's brother, and he's gonna be coding our ship. And Luffy recites that back to him: "Is oh, so like this is our ship's brother who's gonna do the coding?" It's like, yeah, close enough.
Yeah,
He
close enough.
just gets it wrong entirely. Frankie's like, you know what? That's as close as Luffy's gonna get. And here, oh my God, what's Tom's brother's name? I forget.
Oh shoot. You know what?
I literally know this.
I don't remember.
Den. It's Den.
Ben. Yep, nailed it. Nailed
Yep. And Den's just there, like, wait, what? Like, no,
it.
I am not your ship's brother.
Not even close. And Frankie's like, yeah.
Yeah, no,
No,
Frankie
I
just doesn't care.
just he just rolls with it. Yeah. And I love that speaks to their bond as a crew where he's used to this stuff.
What I
He's
really
used to
love.
like
Okay, yep.
he's just used to like, Nami explaining some weather phenomenon and Luffy's like, "Oh, it's magic." And they're like, "You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah."
Yeah, he's just like, this is part of his life now.
Hmm.
I also love that this is in the background of the panel. This isn't even the main event of what's going on.
It's
It's
yeah.
literally just a quick throwaway gag.
That's yep.
Like
That's a
we're
lot of my
saying it,
favorite
we're
gags.
moving on, and that's all there is to it. I love the
Hmm.
simplicity here.
It's great.
Like it vibes with the joke on. There's no reason to linger on this. You got it, man.
Yep. We gotta just move right along. That is not important.
Uh, Best moment in Fishman Island, hands down. That
Well,
being said, we will just move right on to Patrick's number five.
all right. So this is from chapter 804. This is as the crew is climbing up to visit Zoe. Kinemon and Conjuro have just been knocked off by the monkey, whose name I'm forgetting at this moment. But um, that's not the important part. The important part is they're all turning back. They're like, "Oh shit, they fell." And I'll read the speech bubbles out because it's why I picked this. It's one of my favorite things, running gags with Robin. Um, you have Usopp asking, "Damn, what was that thing that just fell past us?" And Robin's like, "I don't know. At first I thought it was a blood-drenched person stuck full of knives, but then it looked like a baby monkey." Like, why would you think that first? So it's just a great get where she just goes as morbid as possible every time. It's one of my favorite running gags with Robin specifically.
It's really grown on me over the years.
Yeah, and it doesn't develop till later on, I don't think. But it's when it's good, it's good. It hits a lot
Hmm.
almost every time she does it. Um, so yeah, not a whole lot visually speaking, but I just really like this gag. And Ryunosuke, God bless him. God bless him. Rest in peace.
But yeah, no, I don't have too much to add here. It is a hilarious gag anytime Robin goes full morbid on something. And I just love that as their friends are actively falling to their death, she's just like, "Oh, time for a gag." You know,
And
like
she like actively looks distressed about it. It's like I thought that person was full of knives.
yeah, no, she doesn't look distressed that they're falling. She's like, "What did I just see?"
Hmm.
No, gotta give it up for Robin. She is underrated comedic gold.
Hmm.
Just
Absolutely.
gonna power on through to my number five. Though
Okay,
the
okay.
wind carries his name. Again, I don't think anyone's gonna consider this one underrated, but just the first panel where Sniper King appears. My name is Sniper King, and the theme music just starts rolling. Nah, this was too funny. Like I can't think of anyone who didn't turn the page, see this, and just go, "What the fuck?" Like this, it comes out of the furthest left field. Nobody suspected superhero alter ego for Usopp.
Nope.
Even if we did expect that, nobody expected it to be as good as it was, and I almost want to demand more of it.
Bring
Soja
it back.
King, I love you.
He's the best. Yeah, this is a good introduction for him. It's a absurd looking mask. You know where he got it from, and you can tell because his nose is sticking out. That's just Usopp.
I had a
And he just
I love that it doesn't actually conceal his identity because of his nose.
hmm it's really funny, and he takes himself so seriously with that mask on. Everyone's like, "Whoa!" Well, Luffy and Chopper are, not
I
everyone
just
else.
I just finished rewatching Ennie's Lobby and I got to the end of the arc where he goes to shoot three, I think they're captains, but he keeps missing them and Rob Lucci accidentally takes him out with a kick. He's like, "Oh, I
Hmm.
must have hit them so hard they didn't even notice it after they all fall down." So then he's just walking through their field of corpses singing his song. It's like, God damn it, Usopp. Just
Oh
everything
man.
about Sniper King, and this is the panel that sets it all up. You know, this is what
Hmm.
sparks that, and I love it. Best panel, love it. Okay, moving on. Patrick's number four.
I mean, it's on the
Hey,
layout. It's in
it's on
the
the
background.
layout. That wasn't planned. I love that.
As soon as I saw it in the background, I'm like, does he know? Does he also have this panel on?
No, see, I
Uh,
put that there, and I was like, is he gonna want me to remove it because he doesn't care about this moment? So I'm so glad to see you did decide to
well,
include it.
it's man, this rereading this just
Chaka chaka
absolutely
chaka
killed me
chaka 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 chaka.
because it's not the first time we see him do this cube form, but it is the second panel. The first one is when he actually like, takes it. He's like, "Perfect, now I'm in my perfect cube form. You cannot hurt me." But this one is just a couple of panels later. This is chapter 416. Obviously, it's Ennie's lobby. Um, and he's just like, all he says is Tempest kick. And you just see his little arms and legs flailing. And so I was like, do you even want to fight? It's just a really funny visual gag, and just the simplicity of him just saying Tempest kick. Like, there's no exclamation mark. It's just a period. He's
No,
just
seriously
calm and
though,
collected.
as hilarious as this fight is, like it's also one of the best fights in the whole series. When we get Zora pushed to his limits, having to break out nine sword
Hmm.
style. But then at the same time, this is what he's up
We get
against. He's up
this.
against Tempest Kick, and he's just flailing wildly.
Yeah. Man, it's one of my favorite running gags that, if you think about it, starts here, where like zone type double fruit users are like, this is how drafts really work. And it's like, is
Mm.
it? I don't know about that. And we get the fruit, like, I don't want to say it. complete payoff, but it's a payoff sort of in Wano, and I
Mm-hmm.
almost included some of those moments on my list, but maybe next time.
Yeah, no, no, there's just so many to get through. We're never gonna
Hmm.
run out. Uh,
No, no, we're not.
okay, but moving on, my number four is this is just I had to include more
Oh,
than one panel for this one for the context because like which one
hmm.
of these do you pick? But this is Luffy embarking on Thriller Bark. A zombie pops up out of the ground at him, and he just
Yeah,
gently pushes him back down, only to declare, "Oh, that was just an old man covered in bandages."
yeah.
Why would that mean you rebury him?
Yeah, I love this moment. I think it works really well in the anime because there's just no music. There's no like nothing going on in the background besides the wind and the zombie just groaning. He's just like, oh, there you go. All right,
I just,
there we
I
go.
what I want to know his thought process of, you know, why would we push it back down? I love
So
this
funny.
is it's my favorite moment. I don't want to say in Thriller Bark because you do have to compete with nothing happened, but
Yeah, I've got a
it's
few favorites.
absolutely hilarious and just the entire crew back there like it's a zombie, you idiot. Luffy just
Yeah,
unfazed entirely.
yeah. Oh, that's a great moment. Thriller Bark's full of chock full of comedy gold.
It
This
really
is one of
is
my
like
favorites.
it's not the best arc, but it's short, it's hilarious, and it's got a great ending.
Hmm.
This definitely plays a
Agreed.
role in all of that.
Agreed.
But now we have Patrick's number three.
This is one of my favorite moments from Fishman Island.
I don't remember this
So
one.
this happens towards the end of Fishman. This is chapter 652. We've just talked to Baron Tamago and Peckham's, and they've given them all the gold from from the Straw Hats repository that the fishmen have given them. And Nami's very upset that in order to save Fishman Island, that they gave all their gold away. So she beats him up a little bit, and almost immediately after that, Luffy's like, "Come on, gang, let's go to the new world." And everyone's like, "Talk about a depressing start to a journey." It's just a really funny visual gag because the crew is just like upset and like angry that everything's happened has happened, and you just have Neptune in the background being like, "What the fuck am I watching here?"
That is
It's
just such a
so
Luffy
funny.
move, though, to not only give it away, but get the shit kicked out of him. Be like, okay, we got that out of our systems. Good, good.
And I love that it's like something as huge as like we're finally going into the second half of the Grand Line. We're finally getting that much closer to the One Piece, and he's just like, "Let's go to the new world."
No, I just love that. No time to recover. Not even trying to hide the fact that he just got the shit kicked out of him. He's just like, let's
Hmm.
go, guys. Nothing to
His
see
arms are
here.
his arms are shaking. He's huffing. It's a great
No,
bit. I love it.
this one's a great panel for sure. My number three, again, didn't exactly go subtle
Oh,
here, but that moment Luffy lands in front of the three admirals,
hmm,
the panels go on to be like all the admirals are looking. I'm like, oh, so you made it here, like congrats. But
yeah.
you know now what? Luffy
Now the real
can't even
battle
be
begins.
bothered. He's looking straight past him at his brother.
Hmm.
But just this moment of impact, oh, I love it. This was one of Luffy's great moments pre-time skip. It's not
Hmm.
punching a celestial dragon. It's not Gatling on Lucci, but it is just him landing in front of insurmountable odds and already determining he's gonna surmount these odds.
Yep. Yeah, this is a really good. I love this moment. I love this panel, period. It's definitely one of the more iconic images, honestly. But I love how we start. It's hard for me to pick out the focal point. I think it is Luffy here, but you slowly go from him holding the mast to the three admirals, and then you see up in the background, you see Sengoku on the execution platform, which kind of, and it's like it just looks so far away, and from this
Mm-hmm.
angle, it just makes it look that much further. So like the way all of this is framed and the way everything is kind of laid out is it's just a really good panel, and it's hype as fuck, dude.
It really is. Like, there's a reason we saved this for the climax of pre-time skip.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
no, absolutely one of my favorite moments. Patrick's second favorite moment, because these are definitely ranked in order.
Totally. It's one of my favorite visual gags, period.
It's
I think about
great.
this. every so often. I just start laughing. Like there's two like I think the panel before this he's making an even more obscene face, but I think this one's really great because of Robin's response directly in this panel. Uh I love the face. Um he's just talking about this is Punk Hazard if you don't know. This is Frankie. He's been put in Chopper's body. This is chapter 665. He's making this face and saying the real problem is those kids. What are we gonna do with them? And Robin's just like, Frankie, I don't want you to speak in that form ever, ever. It's a really good bit because she loves cute things, and she's the first to say, "Hey, Frankie, you're ruining my image of Chopper. Please stop talking."
I did always love Frankie and Chopper's body, especially
Hmm.
when he takes the rumble ball, and Chopper's like,
Oh
"Yeah, but I don't
God.
think you can control it." And he's like, "I'm gonna do it," and he just goes
Yep.
wild. But it's Frankie Chopper.
It's so funny, dude. Yeah, Frankie and Chopper's body, underrated gag for sure. But the
Hmm.
faces he makes have always been one of my favorites.
It's fantastic. Like that looks like Chopper and Crocodile had a baby.
Pretty much, yeah. It's disturbing and funny at the same time.
It's amazing. Great second choice. My number two coming in here. So is
Oh,
this your
yeah.
moment? Is did I
Yep.
steal? Yes.
It did. It did.
So this is Buggy when they stole the transponder snail and pointed it towards him during Marineford. And his prison buddies were like, "Hey, isn't that Buggy the Clown, the famous pirate?" And then Buggy's like, "Yep, that's me."
It's me.
Like he's too funny. Marineford Buggy is just gut punching hilarity every time.
My
This is
favorite bit
just so
about this
good.
moment. My favorite bit about this moment is Sengoku's like, all right, turn off all the feeds. We don't want people to see what's about to happen. It's about to get gruesome. We're about to roll out our pacifistas. And so every feed is off, except this one. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy? Why does he
Just
have a snail?
that stupid face he's making.
It's so funny. Oh,
And
me? I'm just Puggy the Clown.
and
I'm
this
just a
goes on
pirate.
to convince the entire world he's like a global level threat.
Yep.
Like
Oh, man.
I is that Buggy the sworn brother of red-haired Shanks and apprentice of Gold Roger? But
Standing
no,
on
it's
equal
just
ground with Whitebeard? Yeah.
I love Buggy and Marineford, and this panel sums it up better than anything. No
Yeah,
offense to
I
your
have to
monkey
agree.
ball.
I mean, this is like peak Buggy. Like mine is just I like the face. This is
No, it's
like
a great face, and it's also peak Buggy because like this
oh,
is
it
the
is
face
like
in public,
100%.
but that's the face in private.
Hmm? Yeah.
Just that moment where he's like, "I'm so far out of my league, it's not funny anymore."
Why did I shoot a ball at a Warlord of the Sea?
Okay, but yeah, let's move on. You're number one.
My number one is also Marineford. I the obvious choice here. This is chapter 571. Two panels later, he's punching Garp after going Gear 2. I adore this moment for a number of reasons, but one of them is this panel here where he actually goes Gear 2. He's running up the stairs to the execution platform. The only thing standing in his way is his grandfather and then Sengoku after that. Um, and, we know the moment I'm talking about here. He punches Garp. He shows no hesitation in doing so. But I love this panel here where you see him on an angle and Garp's just like opposite to him and I just love the way that this panel is laid out and the way he's kind of just, at an angle a little bit, showing that he's truly just kind of up against the wall here, but he'll do whatever it takes to save his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks badass. Like this isn't the iconic Gear 2 image from Annie's Lobby, but for me this panel specifically has always stuck out to me and I truly do love it. Just the way it's
Just
laid out.
I love the blurred lines in the background, making it look like he's moving fast because he really is just come in, slam down, gear second, keep moving. He's not
Hmm.
doing a power up in a fight. He is boom activating it, about to lunge at Garp and just deck him hard. You're right. There's
Hmm.
no hesitation, pulling out all the stops. Just that look of rage on his face. This is a pretty fantastic gear second moment.
Hmm. One of the best, I think.
And then I know I can see a little bit of Garp there, and you don't have the full face for context, but there
Hmm.
is some portion of him that looks scared. Not to say that Gear Second Luffy could actually hurt Garp. But I think
Hmm.
it's Garp wondering, like, can I actually stop my grandson from saving my other grandson? And I know Ace
Yeah.
really isn't, but he is.
Yep. And what follows this is you see Garp flip-flopping between the present and the past, and you see,
Mm-hmm.
young Goofy and Ace. So he's, yeah, it's definitely not a matter of can I stop it, it's a matter of should I, you
Yeah,
know?
like, can I morally stop it?
Right.
But yeah, fantastic choice on your part. My number one, little more comedic. This is my favorite panel in the entire series. I love just blubbering Bon Clay running away. We know from Alabaster he's willing to stand and go to jail for his friends. And now we've met the monster that it's not worth fighting against. It is time to run and flee. Leading up to this point, we've seen him go through his head about I could do this or I could do that, and they all resulted with him dying. So the
Hmm.
only self-preservation choice was to run away and leave his friend to die. And you can just see how much this decision hurts him.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then it goes on for him to redeem himself at the end of Thriller Bark. And I can't talk about that scene without crying. Bon Clay is my boy. And I'm it hurts me to see him go through this. But at the same time, I don't know, this is just so excuse me. It's just such a beautiful drawing that really captures just the utter sadness of him.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think Oda does a really good job of showing just the globs of tears, like actual
Mm-hmm.
globs falling off his face. Like his face is a little overpronounced towards the bottom. It's just kind of how he is and how he's drawn and the angle and everything. And so it looks a little goofy, but
Mm-hmm.
you also get so it's funny, but it's also like sad. And in his head, he's like apologizing to Straw Hat because it's the
Right.
last thing he wants to do is abandon his buddy. And knowing the payoff for all of it, it's like yes, it's a good moment. It's a good moment for his character.
It really is. Like Bon Clay is my favorite for an obvious reason, you know. He's at least
Hmm.
on everybody's something list.
Yeah.
But my god, I love him. I think he's really beautiful to draw. I think his character arc is phenomenal. That being said, wish he was dead, never want to see him again.
Put him in the ground.
No, like, come on, we can't have him survive that and then maybe break out someday. Come on. It defeats the entire sacrifice. It's like Pell, but worse, because I cared about Bon Clay. But yeah, that's gonna do it for our 10 underrated panels. Be sure to check back next time. We will certainly have another one of these coming at you. Where we're gonna stick to more underrated designs that time around, and we'll go a bit deeper.
Hmm.
You know, maybe get a little more obscure with them.
Hmm.
But let us know in the comments down below what are your favorite obscure panels. If they match ours, they just might make it into the next video. And what did you think of ours this time around? If you guys do want to see those upcoming videos, really help us out. It'd be nice for you to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know when we go live, make another upload. If in the meantime, you know, you're just enjoying the content, stop it in. A little like on the video never hurt either. But guys, that's going to do it for us this time. We'll be sure to catch you back here next time.
Bye.